Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make the most delicious chicken and waffles. To get started, I already have my chicken seasoned and I'll be using some all-purpose flour. I have whole milk. You can use whatever kind of milk you like here. I have some melted butter, eggs, baking powder, vanilla extract, and some sugar. So let me show y'all how I prepped and seasoned my chicken. What I did was brine the chicken overnight. I used a salt and sugar water. I added 2 cups of water to 2 tablespoons of sugar and salt in this bowl. I washed the chicken first in lemon juice and then I added the water, the sugar and salt and allow it to brine overnight. Then today I'll be rinsing the chicken off first. Then we will be using some smoked paprika, garlic and onion powder, seasoned salt, complete seasoning, chicken bouillon, black pepper and some green seasoning. I can leave the link to the green seasoning down in the description box for those that are interested. Now once the chicken is properly rinsed, we'll go ahead and add our seasonings to the chicken, mix really well, and we'll set aside to marinate for a few hours. I have some errands to run, so I will allow this to sit, but if you want to cook it right away, you sure can. And let me just mention this, you don't have to use the green seasoning. If you're not using any green seasoning, you might want to add a little oil to your chicken to make it moist so the seasonings can stick. But because my green seasoning has oil in it and it's moist, that alone will help my seasonings to stick. Now let's make a quick sauce for our chicken and waffles using 1 stick of butter. We'll allow that to melt. Once it melts, we'll go in with some honey and some hot sauce. Now I'm using salted butter, so I will not be adding any seasonings, but feel free to add seasoning if you like. I don't think it's necessary. Now if you're feeling kind of dangerous, you can go in with some Hennessy, just to kick it up a notch, but I will not be adding the Hennessy today because my kids have to eat and I want to keep it PG-13, So once they simmer on medium to low heat and it thickens, we'll turn the heat off and set aside. Now let's make our waffle batter by combining all the dry ingredients. We'll add the baking powder and the sugar to the flour, mix well and set that aside. Then we'll combine all of our wet ingredients. I could not add the melted butter here because my measuring cup was too small, so I decided to add that separately into the batter. But basically what we're doing is adding the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients, mix really well and set aside. You don't want to overmix your batter. It's okay for the batter to have a few lumps in it. And let me mention this real quick that I'm using salted butter for the recipe, so that's why you don't see me adding any salt here. But if you're using unsalted butter, you can add a ½ teaspoon of salt. Now let's take a look at the ingredients for the breading. I'll be using some cornstarch, all-purpose flour, a little baking powder, chicken bouillon, garlic and onion powder, seasoned salt, cayenne pepper, smoked paprika, and some black pepper. What you want to do is combine all the ingredients, mix well, and set aside. Next, we'll go ahead and coat the chicken really well in this flour mixture. Now, today I will not be using any liquids because I feel like I'm not a fan of that thick crust on chicken, like the thick breading. I'm not a fan of that, especially when I want to make a sandwich or, just enjoy it. So I will just be coating the chicken in the plain flour mixture one time and set it aside. That's it. Simple and easy, guys, and the chicken will still be perfect. Trust me on this one. Now I forgot to mention how many pieces and what kind of chicken I was using. I'm using 2 chicken breasts, which I cut one in half, and I have 4 thighs. That's it. Next, you want to preheat your oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to place the chicken breast first in there. I will cook the breast first because they take less time to cook, because I slice them nice and thin. We'll cook them for about 8 to 10 minutes. You don't want to overcook your chicken breast because they'll become tough and dry, and we don't want that. Once it's 8 minutes, we'll remove them and we will cook our chicken thighs. Now if you look closely, you can see how perfectly done the chicken is. It has a nice thin crust on there and the breading isn't falling off, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So once you add your chicken thighs into the oil, we'll cook these for about 12 to 15 minutes. They'll take a longer time to cook because they have the bone in them and they're thicker. So we'll cook them for 12 to 15 minutes and then I'll show you guys what they look like. So after about 15 minutes, as you can see right here, our chicken thighs are perfectly cooked. It's nice and crispy. The breading isn't falling off, and we didn't have to use any milk, eggs, or none of that stuff. So we will remove these and we will set them aside. Now let's make our waffles. I have my waffle maker preheating, and I will place about 1/3 of a cup inside here because I will be doing 2 types of chicken and waffles. I'll be making a sandwich as well as just regular chicken and waffles. So I want to make them nice and small for the sandwich. So 1/3 of a cup, and this is what it looks like. We'll remove this and we will carry on with the same process. You can add more in here for bigger waffles if you like. Now I have my waffle maker on high, set on the max setting so they can become nice and golden brown. So now let's assemble our chicken and waffles. Like I said, I'll be making a sandwich as well as just a regular chicken and waffles. So I will place some pickles down there and then we will add some bacon. That's what I want on my sandwich, but feel free to add whatever you like. Now once that is added, we will go in with that chicken breast. Then we'll add some of that sauce that we made. You could add as much or as little as you like. I didn't want to add too much, simply just for presentation purposes. I didn't want it to look too messy for my presentation, but afterwards I went in with a lot of that sauce. It was so good and I truly enjoyed it. So that's the sandwich there. And for the regular waffle and chicken, you just add your chicken. I will add the thigh there and we'll go in with that sauce. And that's it, guys. Super simple. If you've never had chicken and waffles before, you need to try it. It is so good. I know you guys will enjoy this recipe. The chicken was so tender because I brined it overnight and it was so flavorful. It was amazing. And the crust wasn't, thick and falling off and uncomfortable to eat. As you can see, the chicken breast is perfectly cooked right there. And it was amazing. I hope you guys give the recipe a try. If you enjoy my video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for me. I will be leaving all my ingredients and measurements down in the description box, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good day and enjoy.